Good afternoon. I prepared something in English for our international friends and colleagues all over the world. It is with great pleasure that I address this distinguished panel of dignitaries from the Netherlands, as well as the dedicated members of the Iranian community residing in the Netherlands. Today, on the International Day of Commemoration and Dignity of the victims of the crime of genocide and of the prevention of this crime, we must direct our attention to the pressing issues concerning Iran. First and foremost, Iran's significance lies in the repeated occurrence of genocide under the ruling theocratic regime. These genocides have targeted opponents of the regime on numerous occasions, including the horrific 1988 massacre of political prisoners, predominantly members of the MEK. Furthermore, we cannot forget the killing of over 1,500 protesters during the 2019 uprising, as well as the tragic loss of over 750 protesters during the 2020 uprising. It is important that we take a stand against these atrocities. Today's executions are shockingly high. Over 700 have been executed in Iran this year. Abraham Raisi, who himself was a perpetrator of the 1988 massacre and a member of the four-man judge who handled down thousands of executions decrees, is the current president. And today, I've heard that this guy, this man, this perpetrator, this criminal, is invited by the UNCR in Geneva. And I strongly condemn the international society for acknowledging Raisi. The unpunishment 1988 massacre is ongoing with the daily executions in the country. But gratefully, there is a democratic opposition, and you are here. This great opposition is resilient, and it is a resistance movement that has been steadfast. It is led by the remarkable Mariam Rajavi, which you all can see already on the screen. And she is a big role model for me, and I think for a lot of women in this room right here. Because I don't know of a woman so courageous and so fearless, standing up to such a cruel regime and such a ruthless dictator. This movement has tirelessly strived to bring these genocides to the forefront of justice. I wholeheartedly applaud their unwavering determination to put an end to the impunity enjoyed by the criminal authorities of the Iranian regime and to hold them accountable for their actions. In the coming month, the Iranian judicial authorities plan to hold a sham court in Tehran to try members of the resistance in absentia. We must question why such ridiculous scenes are permitted by this regime. The answer lies primarily in the inaction of the West, and we have to look to this and we have to take action. The mullahs interpreted this lack of firm action as a signal that the West will continue to appease them. It is crucial that we, as members of the European Parliament or members of our national parliaments, express the true sentiments of the European people and their values. The reality is that the Iranian regime can no longer deceive the international community. People demand justice in Iran, especially today. We stand with the men and women, the young girls and boys of Iran, who have clearly said in Iran protests, down with the oppressor. Be it the Shah or Khamenei. They have denounced any form of dictatorship. The movement led by Mariam Rajavi, along with her visionary 10 points plan, receives wholeheartedly support with the European Parliament. Her visit to the EP was met with a warm welcome and deep respect from MEPs representing from various political groups. I can say almost all political groups. Her courage in confronting such a brutal regime for over 4 decades now serves as an inspirational role model for leading movements seeking to liberate nations across the world. I recently had the privilege of meeting Mrs. Rajavi, and I engaged in profound discussions with her. It is my firm belief that she is a powerful woman, fully dedicated and committed to bringing freedom and democracy to her people. Her mission is not to attain power for herself, but to transfer power from a corrupt and authoritarian regime to the Iran nation. What truly sets her apart is her profound capacity for her self-sacrifice and her willingness to respect and tolerate beliefs and ideas that differ from her own, which I admire. And it is a great example that you set, Mrs. Rajavi. Because what we have seen so recently, it is tolerance and love that what the world needs, right? And Ms. Rajavi gives this to us. Her outstanding leadership and unwavering charisma have been dedicated to the relentless pursuit of the goal of freedom and democracy for the people in Iran, but in fact for the people in the whole world. Her courageous, selfless, and committed movement has led the way for the freedom of the Iranian people and the establishment of peaceful coexistence, peace and stability in the region. Thank you.